this is from the We Bought a Zoo movie. Not that I'm a Matt Damon fan, that you haven't seen a couple of Matt Damon flicks here. But this is premised on the true story, Benjamin Mee, right? He actually bought a zoo in France. And I'll tell you the one little secret in the real story. They bought the zoo, moved in, they'd worked on it for years. Then she got sick and died after they'd moved into the zoo. So a little creative license there in the real story. But what I want you guys to be thinking about is when you're ready to recruit, I want your mentality to be, I need 20 seconds of insane courage. I need 20 seconds of unimaginable bravery, right? When you're scared to approach somebody, I want you to have in your mind a 20-second pitch. 20 seconds to explain the Scentsy benefits. I want you to write it out. I want you to actually time it and prepare it. 20 seconds. Okay, it goes by pretty quick, so be careful about how much you say. If you can do, they say brevity is the soul of wit. If you can do this in 20 seconds, you're trying to do a conversation starter. You're not trying to sell them the whole thing all at once. You're not recruiting them in 20 seconds, but you want to get the conversation started. How do you broach the initial subject with them? Okay? If you can get comfortable, that 20 seconds of courage, 20 seconds of bravery, get the ball rolling, it will roll downhill from there. They will be conversing with you. They will be sharing with you their information of what their concerns are, and you can then make Scentsy the solution to whatever their concerns are. Whatever problems they're having, Scentsy becomes the solution. That's essentially how you recruit. But you got to get the conversation started. So it's 20 seconds of insane bravery. Who all went to Spring Sprint? All right, so you guys saw the power pose.
Stand up. Stand up, Lisa. I've seen her do it in person.
Now I want to see the power pose. I want to see the power pose. There you go. There we go. Now, what they didn't tell you at Spring Sprint is this is really true. It's not just that they picked my teenage boy crush, Linda Carter, to put back up there. So I had to enjoy them doing
out my
that.
mind's eye now, thank you.
I won't say about poking. So, there's actually a Harvard study. I actually have the link if you're curious. Recounts all the studies that have ever been done on this. It is true. If you will do this, and particularly take deep breaths for 2 minutes before you go do a party, before you have a meeting, it is scientifically proven it will increase your testosterone.
Oh boy. Yes.
Rah, rah, rah. Grow a mustache. Here we go. Maybe I need to do that some more. It will also reduce cortisol, which is a stress-creating hormone. So, increases. No, I was thinking of a different word and I let my mind get sidetracked. Where I was going. You are increasing your motivation and decreasing your resistance to taking action at the same time. Okay? So really just do it. I've also given you a couple of just power poses during your presentation. Okay? So if you're doing this in your presentation, that communicates something, right? You don't have to do your presentation like this the whole time. You can do the power presentation on a table and do it like this. That's a power pose. You're just conveying confidence. It's the real message here, okay? So you'll see the poses on the bottom with the guys leaned back like this. It's just confidence. It's open elbows, chest out. That's the basic idea for your power pose if you're doing it during your presentation. So, that's the simple version to get over your fear. 20 seconds and power posing. And I told you wouldn't have to do your laundry as much when I told you how to get over your fear. You didn't have to just wear big girl pants. We'll give you some real solutions to it. Okay.
Okay, before we do this, Britt, can I talk about your why for a minute? Or will you tell your why? Why did you join Scentsy? What was it going to help you with? Are you comfortable with that? much did your baby weigh?
1 pound, 14 ounces.
Okay, so Britt's why is they've got a lot of medical bills. This will be a great way for him to earn a little bit of extra money. That's awesome. Nicole's why is a little different. Nicole had graduated from college, and her roommates were all getting married and moved out, and she's moved back home with her mom and dad to save that money to buy her own home. I remember Carla's why. Kelly's why was just kind of
It keeps
interesting.
changing year.
You guys, we all have different whys and we all have different stories. Lisa, what I wish for you is 20 seconds of insane courage all the time, because I will never forget your enthusiasm when you called me 10 o'clock and says, Lisa calls me and says, I know 10 o'clock's not too late to call you because your show just closed, and my husband just brought me home one of these and I want to sell these with you. Why would you be afraid to offer that opportunity to anybody else? And is a no going to kill you?
No.
Life's given us worse no's. So I wish you a lot of insane
Why,
courage.
yes, he did.
Okay, so guys, I really, really, really believe this. Give a person a fish, you feed them for a day. Teach them to fish, and you can feed them for life. I used to hand food and spoon feed people all the time, and I'd type in their orders for them, and I'd do almost anything. But now what I realize is the best way for me guys to help you guys is to teach you guys how to make money, how to grow your teams, and how to go do it on your own. I can't go do it for everybody. But I really believe if we can teach them to fish, we can feed them for life. Yeah, share the opportunity. Scentsy Family Brands is changing your life. Share it so it can change somebody else's life. Lisa, you want to share the joy that we've had. Kelly, I would love to share, if we could share the joy we had in one day 5 years ago, that's what keeps me recruiting, and that's what keeps me helping new people. Don't be stingy. Don't hide your light under a bushel. Lisa Upchurch, Carla Baker. Fulfill the why of others. But the main thing is share the opportunity. Use that word, and that's what I believe it is. Lauren does the lever thing. Lauren, I'm going to let you do the lever part.
Good. Okay. So why should you sponsor? Can you sell $250,000 in Scentsy by yourself? I can tell you it takes a long time to do that. But if I've recruited a team, I don't have to lift the lever by itself. Now, some of this is my He-Man science idea. If you want to lift $250,000 worth of silver, that's roughly 500 pounds. I know none of you can lift that by yourself because the women's world record for the deadlift is only 486 pounds. I cheated. I picked something I knew none of you could do. I couldn't get some smart aleck in the back going, I can lift 100 pounds. I cheated. But let's say you had a team of 100 people. Mathematically, mechanically, you're only lifting 5 pounds. Who can sell $5? You get enough people selling $5, you've sold $250,000 in a month. Notice I didn't say a year, I said a month. Okay? Scentsy does much more than that in a day anymore, right? Every day, day in, day out. So, the key to growing your team, to making this income, is to be consistent. It is consistently recruiting. It is not doing it occasionally. It is going into it with a mindset of, I am making it my mission to recruit. I'm going to share the opportunity, the change in my life with as many people as I can. I'm going to touch as many lives as I can help improve. I don't like the word change because some people are resistant to change. I like to enhance lives. And I want to enhance as many lives as I can. If I recruit 12 people in a year and I teach those 12 people to recruit 1 a month, I'm recruiting 1 a month, they're recruiting 1 a month. If we are consistent with that, at the end of a year, how much have we recruited? Those of you on the front row can cheat. It's 4,095 people. All you did was recruit 12. It's the leverage power of consistency.
Okay.
Man, what do you want to change?
No, you can do it. No, you can do it. I don't like technology. Okay, so I believe the secret to my success is passion. Guys, I love Scentsy. I love everything about it. I love the product. I love members on my team. I am so thankful for so many. I love my customers. I have fun with my customers. So it's easy for me. Have a personal passion and a total belief for what Scentsy brands can do for you and others. Enthusiastically share your passion. It is not hard for me to talk about Scentsy at all. I love it. I love the business. I am so thankful for all that my business has done for me. It's easy for me to talk to it. When you're enthusiastic, it's infectious. Just like somebody with a bad attitude can poison a whole room, one excited person can change a whole room too. Got to understand what others want. You've got to help others discover what they want. What problem can Scentsy solve for them? Scentsy's not going to solve all of Brett's medical bills, but what if it makes a little bit to lighten his load and his wife's load every month? Is that worth the little bit of work they'll do? Yes. Nicole, what if it helps you buy your house a year sooner? I mean, so there's just all kinds of reasons. Bottom line is when you're recruiting somebody and you're talking to somebody, it's not about you. It's not about your way. It's got to be what's about them and how it's going to help them. What Scentsy's done for you may be a common inspiration for them, but they'll need their own inspiration. Scentsy is an opportunity. Use that word when you're describing it. Okay, we're back to fun. I did just what he told me to, didn't I? You did. Okay. Fun equals more sales, more hostesses, and more recruits. Make it fun to join. Fun is a powerful motivator. People do not want a boring job. They don't want to work with boring people. They can do that all day long. They want to enhance their life, not add something dull, drab, boring, or let's add this word, stressful. Make it fun to work with you. Many don't like their boss or job already. They'd love a chance to pick their own co-workers at Scentsy. If you're fun, you're more likely to get picked. But if you're fun, you're more likely to attract fun people too. Have fun at parties. Getting paid to play is a powerful incentive. The people love the minute to win it games. Let's see here. Click. Ronnie, you tell me if it does.
Yeah, I did click.
Okay. Why do they want to do Scentsy or sell Scentsy? What need or problem can Scentsy solve? Your why, your motivation may not be theirs, and it probably is not theirs, because mine was literally, I just signed up to get a kickback because I was going to buy 20 of them, and my husband was a cheapwad and didn't pay me very much, so I'm going to buy all his gifts at the law firm, and I'm going to get that commission check, and I'm going to go spend it on myself. So, I mean, my motivation would be totally different probably than somebody else's. It's critical to listen to them talk. If Brent would have sent me an email and said, hey, or I hadn't listened to his why a little extra money could help, if I went straight on talking to him about, oh, you can do parties and you can make all this money, he would have never emailed me back, would you? Ronnie, if I had said you're going to have to go do 4 home parties a month to be successful, would you call me back? But Nicole, if I said, what if we can make you an extra $100 a week, is that doable for you? Because every one of their whys is different. You guys just got to listen and help them. Explains how Scentsy solves their problem. You'll lose them if you only focus on what got you interested. If they're not quite sure what their why is, suggest reasons and see if they're interested. I hear lots and lots of different ones. Free product, that was me. Flexible working hours. You would have never got me with that one because I didn't want to work. Earning extra money is huge. Layoff protection. Family vacations. I hear that a lot. And I've got people on my team who have their money paid to their Scentsy credit card every month. And that credit card is what they use to spend on family vacation. I've got a single dad with 2 little boys. He does not spend his Scentsy money. He literally, when he joined last year, he did not use that card until December, and he used the money on his pay card, and that's what was his boys' Christmas presents, and that's really cool. Some people's end goal is to stay at home with their kids. It might take a little bit of time, and be honest and say, we're not going to be able to get you to stay home with your kids in 3 months, but with a little bit of work, maybe over the span of a year, whatever it is, that we can get it to where you can stay home with your kids. I hear make a car payment all the time. One of my early on, when I knew I could make a difference and I could help people, I had a single mother, and her motivation was to be able to pay off her car payment so she would be able to have more money to spend for dance classes and for a little girl and something for her little boy to do. And so not only did we get it where she could easily, make her car payment before any time at all, she doubled up on her car payments. And she called me one night and she said, I just have to tell you, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing the opportunity. She said, my car is already paid off. And she said, I have extra money at the end of every month to do things. And now my little girl's in dance. And I can't remember what her little boy was doing. But making a car payment's one that I hear pretty commonly. Children activities, more often than not, we women will do anything. And I'm sorry, I would move heaven and earth for Mackenzie to be able to play softball or be on the track team. Or we will do whatever we have to do for our kids to have what they need. Some women just want to do it to get out of the house. Ronnie might have wanted to do it to meet interesting people. Some people really hate their job, they hate their boss, they want out, they want to start something and build their own business. So there's many, many reasons. Sometimes they have more than one why, and you got to figure out what they want the most. I mean, they could have 2 or 3 reasons, so we're definitely not all the same. And I say you can look around in this room, there is no one average Scentsy consultant. We have everything from nurses to realtors to sign language interpreters to retired people to a lawyer. There is no average Scentsy consultant, so we all have different wants and dreams. Find and create a personal moment of how to raise the issue. At a party, when you complete their order form, this is one of my favorite things at a party, and this is how I work on my recruiting. I'll say, once you guys start your order forms and get them filled out, bring them to me and let me take a look at them, before you write your check, and I'll look over and see if you've got all the best deals. And because a lot of times they'll order 5 bars, and I go, okay, you get the 6th one free. But that tells them ahead of time to bring their orders to me. I know I'm gonna get to spend a minute with them. I'm not gonna take 5 minutes. I know I'm gonna get to spend a minute with them before they go home. And that is a great time to say, hey, if you ever decide you didn't book a party tonight, but if you ever want to have a party, you need a fundraiser, or you decide you'd like to make some extra money, give me a call. So there's just places to throw that in at a party too. And then you got to just kind of let the conversation flow. Right off if they're not interested. But you see that light in their eye if they're interested in the $99 opportunity. My favorite one, and guys, it works. This is your Scentsy order, and I'm going to deliver it to you. Britt, I'm going to reach out and hand it to you. What just happens? He looks up at me when I hand this to him, and I don't let go of it immediately. I'm going to say, Britt, you're going to take this home and fall in love with it. You may decide you want to start your own Scentsy business for $99. He's got his order. I'm done. But no matter who I walk and hand this to, you're going to make eye contact with me when I hand it to you. So for whatever few seconds I've got your undivided attention, and that's when I'm gonna, or, thank you so much, that's your best time to thank somebody. So, my favorite time, and you guys see me do it at booth all the time, I'll say, you're gonna take this home, fall in love with it, you're gonna wanna sell Scentsy with me.
20-second story, it's a 2-second story, but it's
So-
that's the 20 seconds of insane bravery is what she's talking about. How to get the conversation
I'm quick,
started.
it doesn't even take me 20 seconds to be brave, babe.
It'll take you 10 seconds.
No, it doesn't.
Doesn't take
But
you
why?
so much.
Only reason I can figure out why, guys, I used to not be this brave. I love Scentsy. I cannot help it. I love everything about it. I love talking to customers. I love helping people pick their scents. So it's just fun and it's easy, so I can't imagine why everybody doesn't want to do what I'm doing, so,
It's like that from people themselves.
yeah.
I know you love what you do, but you love people.
I like people. So, I don't know.
I must
In
not
life,
be
when
people.
they mention an issue that, shut up, Lauren, you're the exception to the rule. You guys know I'm teasing him, right? I don't want you to think he's abused.
I am abused, but you still love me. I need a support group.
Yeah, I need 20 minutes to think about that one. Okay. If they issue a mention that Scentsy consult, do you guys ever notice on Facebook your friends whining about being broke?
Yes.
What do? Roll your eyes or go, oh my God, she's whining again? Why not say, do what I do, start your own business, take control. Put on your big girl panties, start a new business. But you guys see cues all the time that people are talking about something, gosh, I wish I could afford for little James to be able to have dance lessons. you guys be listening, and that's why I started my Scentsy business. So just kind of listening. You see examples all the time on Facebook of people that are whining about money.
Are you on a different slide?
No. I did it just in life when they mentioned an issue that Scentsy can solve, mention the opportunity, and I was just thinking about all the times on Facebook I see people whining they're broke. Make recruiting an intentional and focused and purposeful act. Make it a habit to mention the business opportunity. Camilla, always be recruiting. Think about how it solves a problem, whether you hear a friend discuss their lives. Realize it's going to take 6 to 12 months or more for people to want to join. Rarely do I talk to somebody today that calls me tomorrow and wants to join. But if I'm mentioning see if you just take the dang thing. That's why I don't like technology, guys, because I'd rather look at you and talk to you than be messing with technology. They're not going to join today, Camilla, but if I'm planting the seeds today, January I'm planting them at the home shows, February I'm planting them in, at parties, March we're mentioning them I am always mentioning that opportunity. I'm going to get a recruit every month no matter what. To be real honest, I'm always one of the ones that wins. So Kelly, what do we even call it?
Mentoring award.
I won the mentoring award. I won it every year but one, and I was embarrassed that I didn't meet but it's because I'm not talking about recruiting 6 months out of the year, or I'm not talking about it this month because I'm in a good mood and my PMS is over. It is because I am constantly talking about the recruiting opportunity. So let's see. Talk about the benefits of your life that Scentsy is bringing. To be real honest, you guys are the benefits. My customers that I love and have fun with are the benefits, so it's easy.
She gives me all the money, by the way, just in case
yeah.
you're curious. It's not the money. I got a bridge to sell you in Brooklyn.
It has just brought amazing people into my life. I mean, it is that simple. Recruiting is where the difference is. You can get paid to sell anything. Building a team is rewarding. It creates relationship, it provides opportunity, and it generates more income. I really believe I spent an hour and a half with Heather this week. Can that be life-changing?
It was.
It is, it can, and yes.
Yes.
So that's what keeps me going. Kelly Huffman's what keeps me looking for my next director. Now, I can't have a personal relationship with all the people on our team. I wish I could. Some people don't like me, don't get me, don't whatever, but I know the ones I can reach, and I know that I can help the people that let me help. That's what keeps me doing what I love to do. If you can take yes. I'm having a personal moment here. My mother's a prime example. How many of you guys have mentioned the recruiting opportunity to a 72-year-old person, a retired person? Nobody needs income more. I'm not saying my mother needs income, she doesn't. But there are senior citizens out there that are struggling and they have to choose. I wish my sister was here, she'd tell you an amazing story. My sister was in the line at the grocery store behind a man last week, a senior citizen, and he went to pay for his 4 bags of groceries and his credit card got declined. And so he walks out, and my sister says, I noticed he walked out without his bags, and they called for manager, and Lisa says to the clerk, what's going on? She said his credit card got declined. And my sister says, oh, hell no. Hands him a credit card and says, somebody go get him. And they ran out there and they said, come back, come back, come back. The lady behind you paid for his groceries. And the man came back in crying.
I got things like that.
I mean, guys, so who needs extra money? That was just kind of a side thought, but that was kind of a neat. Now, is Scentsy a lifesaver for my mother? Probably in many ways it is, because it keeps us together every day.
Yeah, that's
Does Scentsy make a difference? Mother, would you like to speak louder?
She's hiding behind her husband.
She's back there one-lining, yeah.
She's got an infomercial going on.
But really, that's extra money that allows her to travel and have a social life and have fun, and it gives us our life moment money. So I think that's pretty cool. Okay, now I'll click the button.
It flipped.
It did.
Yep.
You'll tell me, because I don't like to look at
It
it. Averages of what various ranks recruit. This is based on Scentsy numbers. Star consultant, 1 new consultant every 2 months. A director, 1 new consultant every 6 weeks. Superstar, one new consultant every 3 weeks. Lauren, you want to add anything to that?
I wanted to give you guys an idea that have these in mind. So, if you're an essential consultant, what do you want to be thinking to promote to star? You want a goal. You got to know, I want 6 recruits a year, 1 every 2 months. I want to become a superstar director. I want financial freedom. What is it I need to do to achieve that? You need to have in mind, you're going to do a new recruit every 3
Oh,
weeks.
no, you're not getting the podium.
No, the next slide is mine too. I snuck it in, and this one I am gonna have to explain. I wanted you to understand what you need to be thinking in order for those rank advancements. Where is the next slide? Oh, I went the wrong direction. Okay, so if you want to promote, who wants to promote? Who wants a higher rank? Who wants a bigger paycheck?
Carla, raise your hand. I want it for you.
I started
You
speaking.
do what I do. You're in your own mind.
I started speaking, she zoned out. I don't think those were related. In my mind, they're not. Okay, so since he did this analysis, we get this question all the time. How big does my team need to be for me to make director? Scentssy's corporate analysis was, instead of focusing on the size of your team, I can tell you the size of most of the teams when people first promote to director, okay? I can give you that number that we experience, okay? Nobody's asking me that number? Really?
What is it?
What is that number? What is that number? Roughly, a team from between around 20 to 30. You're gonna be in the ballpark. You're gonna be, if you're working your business and if you're training your people to work their business, if you're finding their why and keeping them motivated, that's in the ballpark where you're gonna start hitting that $10,000, okay? Now, are you gonna sustain it for the entire year? Maybe, maybe not, okay? I've seen people do it with as few as 9 people on a team, but they are exceptionally busy. They generally don't sustain it when they do that. So Scentsy's approach, instead of looking at the size of your team, how many people you've recruited, is more complicated. This is not in your workstation as a tracking number. I don't understand. Since he's promoted this several years ago, but here's the idea. To be a star consultant, you're thinking 10 promotions, not 10 members.
Is that 10 frontline promotions?
No,
Okay.
10 total promotions on your team. So you're thinking 10 certified consultants, okay? A director, you're really looking at 40 promotions. It's not just 10 people on your team, 20 people on your team, but this is a way of measuring how active those team members are. So if you really want to track this, you're going to, every time somebody promotes, you're going to make a note of it. Just track it in your binder. 40 is the average to get to director. Superstar director, your entire group, you're looking at 320 total promotions. Okay?
Can we ask my husband what that slide had to do with recruiting?
Because
Nothing at all.
yes, I want you to understand it is building your team and keeping them motivated. It's not just recruiting them, it's the difference between recruiting and sponsoring. When you recruit, you're just getting them to sign up. When you're sponsoring, you're training them. You're getting them motivated.
Have you told anybody what the purple shoes were about, by the way?
My purple shoes? Okay. I'm gonna have to show these for the video so people can understand my purple shoes. So, purple, Scentsy primary color. Girls go to New York City this year. I stay home.
We leave them home one vacation a year.
They buy me these as a gag gift. Okay? I post them online. Look what happens when you don't go on the trip. I start getting feedback. People are loving the purple shoes. We go to leadership retreat in Cancun. We've got an 80s night dance party. I wear the shoes. There's more feedback. People loving the shoes. We go to Hot Springs,
I love that
Arkansas.
that couldn't even be a 20-second answer.
We go to Hot Springs, Arkansas, to present. I don't wear the shoes.
And everybody kept asking me, why didn't Lauren?
And everybody goes, I went to Lauren's speech to see the shoes. I get Facebook feedback. Why the hell didn't you wear the shoes? So for you
And
guys,
if you guys could have seen me and Mackenzie in New York doing the pee-pee dance around the store, no one would feel like he had to wear them if we bought them for him.
yellow, canary yellow was my other choice. I'm glad they stuck with purple.
Okay,
So that's why I put my purples. These are my party shoes.
okay.
We did parties. We're ready to party.
Okay, how to recruit. It is simple, you must ask. I have had somebody walk up to my booth at a fair show or event, and she said, I've got this one, I've got this one, I've got this one. I'm like, are you having party? Oh yeah, I had 4 parties last year. I'm like, if you're going to all the trouble to clean your house, to make food, to have parties, why haven't you joined yet? And she went, oh no, nobody ever asked. That happens more times than you will know. No is no worse than before you asked them, Lisa. They still weren't part of the Scentsy family. They still weren't on your team. Don't be afraid. Be complimentary. And this is sincere, genuine, complimentary. I'm not going to blow smoke up people's butt. But I was talking to Pearl a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, you were so fun and enthusiastic. You obviously love Scentsy. You would be great at this. We need to talk about you joining my team. Because there are literally people sometimes that you know you just want to work with them. You want to have them join your team. I'm looking to expand my Scentsy business in Tulsa. I'm looking for new partners. You'd be a natural at this. Have you ever thought about doing this with me? Of all the people here, I think you would be terrific at this because, and if you've ever done a party, you notice I call it one natural born seller. It's a girl that you can't even talk because she's shoving testers in 3 people's faces. Go, you'll love this one, you'll love this one. And I'm like, you are already selling Scentsy for me. You need to join my team. I mean, guys, it's that easy. But I don't blow smoke. You'll never hear me blow smoke. There's people I've seen in the room that I didn't want on my Scentsy team before.
They would have been superstar directors if you had all liked
Well,
them.
who knows? Some things just aren't worth the trouble you have to go to get them. Use stories. Your story sells, and we're going to get into the recruiting folder on there. In my recruiting story, I tell everybody my story, but remember, your story's ever changing. My story's different now than it was 7 years ago because it's been a journey. So find their needs, solve it with Scentsy, find out what's going to motivate them to join. Be authentic, be enthusiastic.
Can we click?
No.
If you insist, I don't think anybody cares. Would you guys rather listen to me or look at a slide, or do we care? Ronnie, am I
This is for
real?
everybody that didn't get to come so they can watch.
Oh, okay, excuse me. They'll love hearing us argue from their living room.
Yes, you are.
Guys, if I have to do it somebody else's way, or if I have to be false, or I have to follow scripts, it's not gonna work for me. The people that are gonna join my team are the people that look at me and go, okay, she's real, she's fun, she's gonna help me. Just be real, just be really real with people. And I'll say, hey, if you're trying to do something, I don't know how, I don't know everything, I'm not perfect, we'll get the answers together. You know,
That is
we'll-
on video.
Yeah, hush.
I'm gonna edit the I'm not perfect
The
part.
more, and have you ever noticed that I have my recruiting conversations quick, my party conversations quick? The more I talk, the less they hear. I mean, really, keep it simple. They're interested or they're not. I've planted a seed. I've got their information. I can follow back up with them. I'm not gonna stand at a Scentsy booth. Nicole, our conversation didn't last 3 seconds. Fill this out, and if it's okay, I'll give you a call tomorrow. You know, hand her a folder, give her some information to read. It's pretty simple, you guys.
In follow-up terms, that was getting permission to follow up. Read this and
And
I'll
I
call
think
you
I told Nicole,
tomorrow.
hey, you know, with this show going on, I'll probably, is it okay if I call you Monday night? So I pretty much knew roughly she's gonna be the first call I made after the show. It's not about you, again, it is not about you. That is hard to say, cause then everything is not about me, is it?
That's on video too.
And really, I find myself so dang boring. I mean, if it's not at the softball park, if it's not happening in my car away on a Scentsy show and it's not about Scentsy, I'm really pretty darn boring. I'm not that exciting. So I love getting to meet and talk to other people. Emotions sell more than logic. Build relationships. And here again, I don't have a relationship with everybody that's one of my personal recruits. Yes, you help them, but you're going to build relationships with people. You've also got to build a little bit of a relationship before you even get them recruited. It's kind of funny because when I started my Scentsy business, I wasn't looking for friends, but it sure brought a lot of them into my life, and that's pretty cool. It's never too soon to start. Avoid hype. Don't blow smoke up people's rears. If you don't know, say, I don't know, I'll find out the answer. Use your director. If I don't know, I'm going to call somebody and find out. I'm going to call the 800. I'd say call Sherri. If Sherri doesn't know, Sherri's going to call Scentsy and find out. I'm going to call the 877 number and get an answer to whatever it is they need to know.
Now this one was,
You were saying that when you put it on the Facebook.
Saying call, so, oh, it's always me saying call. When people call and go, I can't sign into my workstation. Can you do it for me? I'm like, no, I can't fix your computer.
this one particularly addresses the question of the fears of not knowing enough of how to get people to join. This is a technique to get over that. You don't need to know all the answers, okay? But you need to know somebody that does, okay? So if you're worried about recruiting and not knowing how to talk to them, how to answer their questions, let's do this. Let's set a 3-way phone call. Let's get you, me, and them on a call. All you need to do is call me and say, hey, I'm going to get Jane on the phone. She's a nail tech. She's interested in thinking about joining Scentsy. I've talked to her 3 times. I've talked to her. She's been my best friend for life, whatever the circumstances are. 10 seconds of information. We then get her on the phone, and you say, hey, this is my superstar director. This is my sponsor. This is my director. And you let us take over the conversation from there. You don't need to know. Use the people that do.
So you'd be doing a 3-way call.
Yeah, do a 3-way call.
Okay, so simple tips. Follow up with friends who have mentioned that they need cash. Make your parties look so easy that people think I can do that. Doesn't get much simpler than a setup like this. Kim made her Velada setup look easy. I brought a Scentsy setup we can do real fast if you guys want. Keep it simple so people can think, Sherri came in here and set up for this party. It took her less than 5 minutes. All she did is come in and we played some games and had some fun. I can do that. Party infomercial, drop hints during parties. I cannot believe I get paid to have this much fun. Here again, we've covered some of these earlier. My favorite is, it should be illegal to get paid. This is so easy. I just love getting to choose who I work with. I like flip the hostess. If I've tried to talk to somebody about recruiting and they say, well, I'm not really sure, I'm like, let's go ahead and have a party, host a party. And before I go home that night, if you decide, oh my gosh, that was easy, it was fun, I want to do this, we're going to make that your launch party. So not only are you going to get the free and half price stuff, you're going to join that night and you're going to get the commission from the party too. So, I mean, there's things you can do like that too.
One thing about that is to realize some people are better customers than
Yeah.
consultants. So you don't want to recruit and give away the party just to get a recruit for your team. Ask some questions. It's kind of a gut feeling. If you think they're really interested in growing the business and working the business, not just earning $100 for hosting a party, right? We're not paying them for hosting. We're allowing them to keep the party to join. So it's, as long as it's not a one party, one-time event, if they're willing to commit to keep working it from them, then go ahead and offer it as their launch party. You lose the cash on the front end, but you're growing your team on the back end. And if they're going to keep growing your team, that's where you're really going to make money in this business.
Well, and here's the deal, and there's good indicators to that too. A hostess that gets 3 or 4 people at her party, it just depends. A good indicator to me is, Nicole, if you hadn't have been a launch party and I'd have done your party, and I would just sit down and say, Nicole, you did awesome. You did $1,100. I want you to really think about this. You would probably be a really great consultant. And guess what? You already have 11 consultants because all these women are going to buy Scentsy again. They might as well buy from you. So at that point, it's a no-brainer because she would make is this something you would be interested in? Would you follow up with these people? Would you ask them to host a party for you? So I don't want to sign up somebody who's just going to go inactive. But if that's something that Nicole, who I already know because I visited with her, wants to buy her own house, Nicole, this might be a great extra way to decorate your house. So, just kind of be looking and listening for clues. Always add a join pamphlet to every order. You guys, the join brochures are very, very, very inexpensive, and you might as well stick it in there. You can add a business opportunity card inside every warmer sold. Mine is done a little different, and I don't have any of my warmer boxes here. Mine have a little yellow sticker that talk about starting a business for $99. So even my boxes are infomercials. Offer the business opportunity 3 times during the party. During the introduction, during the presentation, and when finalizing the order. Casual conversation works the best for me. What do you do? I have a candle business. I'm a consultant. Pique their curiosity. They ask you questions.
This is, you don't have to puke up on them all the information. You know, if you're in daily conversation, what do? I'm a consultant. Their next question is going to be, for what? Right? You've now got them asking you questions. You're not throwing up information on them. I own a candle business. That's cool. You know, how does that work? What is it? You talk about Scentsy from there. It doesn't have to be, I'm a Scentsy consultant to start with. You can be more subtle than that.
Or what if Heather, I'm gonna ask you this, Heather, what do you do for a living?
I'm a full-time Scentsy consultant.
Okay, and then it can go on from there, we could add to
Yeah.
it.
Build on
People
from it.
go, I sell Scentsy, and then not say anything else.
Yeah.
My favorite is when you answer that question, don't make this answer branding somebody else. Why are you going to brand your boss? Why do you want to brand your company, brand you? They're paying you to work, but you're trying to work for yourself here. Brand yourself when you do it.
Okay, do you wanna talk about the funnel? You got 30 seconds.
Yeah, I'll do this real quick. You can read this one online, but I want you to understand, when people are making decisions about anything, they're trying to decide, is this something I need? Is this something that's reasonably priced to solve my problem? And does whatever it is I'm doing, is that going to solve my need? Is that the solution? Everybody that joins goes through this funnel decision-making process. Some may do it very quickly, some it may take 6 to 12 months. If you're thinking in your mind, where are they in this funnel process, you're realizing all the information you're giving back to them is how Scentsy solves their problem.
Okay, bottom line, be prepared to recruit. Build your personal story. You guys, your story is so important. Practice telling your story. You can talk to yourself in the shower. I do it all the time. Develop your 20-second speech where you can describe what you do and how it benefits you in 20 seconds. Practice your pitch. You guys, practice it and practice it. For me, it's easy and it's habit because I talk about it all the time because I'm going to mention the Scentsy opportunity to somebody every day. Always carry a recruiting packet. Lauren, did you put the recruiting packets out on the table? I want you guys to really, really look at those. Again, you guys can steal my ideas. Britt, I'm going to show it off a minute.
Is this available online also?
It's all, oh God, that light mine. It's all going to be available online. I carry these with me everywhere I go. I even have one tucked in the back seat of my car. It's got a join brochure. It's got a picture of what they get. When people ask you what's in the starter kit, if you don't talk about it all the time, you get stumped. I know exactly what's in the starter kit, and this is my visual reminder. How can they earn money with parties? There's all the most common questions asked in there. Okay. I love this, and guys, I only buy them when they're on sale for like $1 on the Scentsy website. I love the Scentsy video.
Now that one is the Scentsy family video that talks about all 3 brands. The recruiting folder here is organized into 2 sections. On the left side is the detailed information. On the right side is the emotional connection. So the right side has the videos and has stories. Now I just went online, I took Sherri's story and I took stories from other superstar consultants that they had posted on their websites.
And why? Tell them why.
Because I wanted to reach different segments of the population. So I've got Sherri's story.